Being that we all have forgotten the origins of black and African, let me snap y'all back into reality. False faces and alter egos, light skin, black mask. When historians find ancient artwork bearing Negroid traits, they claim they're really animal traits. For example, they say the black features of the Olmec are really based on jaguars because they had a jaguar caught. But look at the face on the top left. Jaguars don't have noses like this. The truth is, many of these totemic features or figures are based on a blend of black shaman and a totemic animal. You can see this in the bronze on the top right, where the shaman and totem are connected yet still separate. In fact, many of the figures on totem poles found among Indians of the Pacific Northwest are not animals, but stylized versions of what looks like a lot of black people. The same black faces are found on their mask, and these often grossly distorted faces aren't limited to the Pacific Northwest. The twisted black faces found on Haida masks or Haida masks are also found in the masks of the Iroquois of the American Northeast. Throughout the world, indigenous people use face masks for a variety of ceremonial uses. Typically, masks are worn by shamans who personify the historical figure or spirit represented, no matter where you go in the world. These masks often resemble black people. Sometimes these features are distorted or exaggerated, creating a grotesque version. They may not look fully human. But as the Aztec mask to the right suggests, these are still only stylized renditions of black faces, sometimes merged with the totemic animal. Meanwhile, when several realistic masks have almost the exact same face, they may represent a well-known historical personality from the ancient past. The old men of the Blackfoot Confederacy. Could a stranger have come to the Iroquois and introduced some of the cultural innovations associated with the Neolithic revolution of the Near East? If this is what happened, it would explain many of the traces of Anu DNA found among indigenous people in the United States. And this influence extended deep into the Americas. In a Blackfoot myth describing their migration to Canada and the Great Plains, they say they came from Siberia. The first Indians were on the other side of the ocean. An old man decided to lead them to a better place. So he brought them over the ice to the far north. Among the Tsuut'ina Nation of Canada, there is a myth recalling the same migration. Both myths note that somewhere in the Canada, possibly near Alberta, their ancestors were split into two groups. In the Tsuut'ina version, they encountered something that frightened them. And those that ran toward the north became the Chippewyans. And who ran toward the south are the Tsuut'ina, or the Sarsi, an old name for the Tsuut'ina. In the Blackfoot version, the frozen ground split, forcing the people to separate. A Siberian origin story suggests that these people shared Mongoloid ancestry, yet there is still strong evidence of Anu influence making a world of difference. Whistler and Duval continue the Blackfoot myth as follows. Now old man led these people down to where the blood reserve now is and told them that this would be a fine country for them and that they would be a very rich people. He said, I will get all the people here, all the people living there ate and lived like wild animals. But old man went among them and taught them all the arts of civilization. When he was through teaching them, he did not die, but went among the Sox, where he remained for a time, but finally disappeared. He took his wife with him. He had no children. Who was this old man? Was he one of the escorts proposed in part one, or was he simply an ancestral figure? Throughout Native American tradition, the old man or stranger is consistently someone who introduces many of the innovations associated with the Anu cultural complex. Rarely is he described as one of the people. He is different. But who does he represent? It is my theory that he represents the Anu migrants who we know, based on genetic research, came among many of the indigenous people of the Americas long before Columbus. And an upcoming book titled Black God, yep, he dropped it because I own it, we'll explore a few more connections between this old man and the Anu presence among the first Native Americans.